Not that you guys want to see my face. Alright guys, been kind of a trying day for me, so I'm going to deal with it the best way I know how, and that's to keep my hands busy. We're going to tear apart a couple reels today. I got these as part of a Facebook market sale. I've got the space heater on right here next to me, which if it sounds like I'm yelling at you, that's why. That thing is loud, but it's 35, 36 degrees or something like that in here. It's kind of cold. But anyway, we'll get started. Let me tilt the camera down here so you guys can hopefully see what I'm doing. Doesn't matter which one I start with, they come apart the exact same way. Whoops. This is a Zebco Z20. They made this reel for exactly 4 years, 1984 through 1988. This one has a date on it right here, but I don't know if that's the manufacturer date or just the copyright date for the model itself, because the other one has the exact same date in the exact same spot, and the third one that's already in my collection has the exact same date in the exact same spot. So the top is off, and as always we're going to set it, well, I got to set it right there where you got it. Right. Trust me that it's sitting off to the right there. Our next step is to take this off. I can already tell that this thing's dirty underneath. But dupe. This is a standard size. That's a 5/16 by the way. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so the lid was the first thing that I took off. This bolt being the second goes immediately to the left of it. Then the cap goes, ooh, bone dry. We're going to have to lube that. That goes right to the right of that. And then now we are to the awful, the insidious, the dangerous C-clamp. Over the years I've launched a billion of those, and I learned something. The best thing to do is to cover it, which I'm going to use this paper towel for, so that if we do happen to shoot it when we release it, basic screwdriver, I'll show you the method. There's these two little gaps here and here, doesn't matter which one you pick, they'll both do the same thing. Put your screwdriver in it, cover it with whatever you're going to cover it with, and then gently pry, and then it'll click. You'll feel it. Just like that. C-clamp is out, no harm, no foul. I didn't have to chase it, and I didn't take it to the face. Come out! Sometimes they're stubborn. There's a little bit of old grease on the bottom of that. And that line is disgusting. We'll be making it go away. To get it the rest of the way out of the thing, you just got to wiggle it until it comes out. Well, I can see why this one doesn't move. There's no lube, which we're going to fix that. Alright, so taking a quick look at it inside, it's all here. It all seems to function fine. The teeth are pretty good wear-wise. I don't see anything of real concern there. I'm going to turn it slow since there's no lube. I don't want to damage anything. And actually looking at it in my screen is actually closer than when I can see it with my eyes. Okay, it stopped moving right there. We'll go the other way. So that's a good thing. The anti-reverse works, which this little gizmo right here that I just moved, that's the anti-reverse. It catches, going that way. This way it doesn't, because basically it's a tooth that falls into a gear. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to clean it. Tell you what, this stuff, go get some of this. If you clean, you know, crap like this, old crap that's been sitting for a while, it works very well. Spray it on liberally. And we're going to clean this after I get the line out of it. The basic procedure for that is to hold it and pull. I'll pause it through this because it's boring. I'll be back. Okay, I've gotten all the old line off. Let's see how long I can go in the cold without having to turn that back on. I'm tired of yelling over it. So we're almost to the reassembly stage. I want to give everything a real good clean before I do that, because there's no point in putting back together a dirty reel. Just like wiping before you poop doesn't make any sense. And honestly, it's not bad. Now, the 35 years since this thing was made have not been kind to it. And the plastic is stained and scratched, but it'll be alright. It'll clean up fine. But originally, the top would have been that color. When you're cleaning these, by the way, you want to make sure you do the thread where the lid screws back onto the body. Make sure you get it really clean, because nothing will ruin a reel faster than screwing it back together and it cracks. Had it happen, it's sad. So that part's done. We'll set it right back on the table where it was. We're going to move that out of the way because I'm done with it. It is cold. Today's my day off, and I had every intention on going out and finding some water and casting a couple today. But we have some wind out of the north. It's 42 degrees outside. It's about 35 or 36 in here. And that wind is just a howling. So, I'm lazy. I decided I didn't want to go. That part's nice and clean. We're going to set it right next to that. This little top nut, yeah, it's fine. I don't need to clean it. The reel cap, you want to clean it pretty good. Well, you want to clean the whole thing pretty good. But there are certain areas that, see, that really need attention. When you're fishing, the spinning of the reel puts water up under here. Okay, that spring had me scared for a second. It looks a little loose. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's a little tension spring right, let me get that closer, right there. That's how this works. And it seems fine. Just looks a little loose. Anyway, the cleaning is the boring part, and I know that. And I appreciate you guys watching me through the boring stuff to get to the fun stuff. Alright, that stain must be permanent. Anyway, clean the inside of the bottom. I have a third one of these that I've had a couple years now probably, and when I first got it, I believed it to be, you know, all original. But upon further review of the Zebco catalogs from the period, when I got this one, found out that the handle on the one that I currently have, well, it's in my collection already, had been replaced once, Matter of fact, I can show you. I have that handle laying here. It fits, it works, but that design is actually original. I'm assuming that whoever owned that one before me broke it, or just preferred the other design and swapped it out at some point. I don't normally like taking the buttons out because sometimes you break them getting them back in, but that one was falling out, so what the hell. Alright, well, I'm going to continue to clean off camera, and I'll be back to lube. Oh, let me turn that back off. Sorry, I was getting warm. When you're cleaning these, it's important to get every nook and cranny because you might find sand, and that's a mix of sand and lube that I found in the gear here. And nothing will destroy the inside of a fishing reel quicker than sand. Sand is the enemy. So Q-tips are really good because they're small and they can get in all little cracks. It is a time-consuming process, but it will definitely lengthen the life of your reel if you take the time and get between all the gears. I'm doing the back now where the anti-reverse is, and again I'm just getting it in everywhere I can before I lube it, because sand and lube do not mix. It'll smooth all the teeth out on your reel in a heartbeat. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now these drag mechanisms on these older Zebcos are actually quite delicate. It's just a plastic post right here that holds the whole thing together. And this is just something that I've learned from breaking a bunch of them. When you're taking that piece in and out, you want the drag loose so that this moves. Okay, that's tight. I don't want it tight. I want it loose. I want it all the way loose so that this little arm moves, or else you're in danger of breaking it off. But again, get in there and get all the little nooks and crannies. There was some crud under that. Sweet. I'm happy with that. I'm going to do the center post real quick. Take a look at it. It's got some wear marks on it, but nothing that should affect the way it operates. Okay, good. If you've got a little brush, old toothbrush will do. I use a little utility brush to do the teeth. That's your best thing. Get in there with the little brush and just one at a time. And always go in one direction. If you brush it like you'd brush your teeth, back and forth, you're just going to put whatever crud you just got out right back in. And that is the exact opposite of what we want to do. Actually, these teeth are in really good shape. This reel was barely used, which is phenomenal for me, because I'm going to use the crap out of it. Same thing when you're doing the spring, always one direction, or else you're just putting the crud that you just got out right back in, and that's good. Okay. Make sure it's all dry. We are dry. We are dry. Sweet. Oh, it's not going to focus. Anyway, you can see that they're all still nice and flat. There's no grooves worn into them or anything like that. So we are ready to reassemble. Now, because I've laid everything out in the exact order in which I took it off, I know that this goes in here. Now we're going to do it together. Now, there we go. Perfect. Just like that. And then I've already loosened the drag. What I find to be the best way, this little drag lever away from you, and then you put that end in first, if you can, on your reel, just like that. Perfect. See, since I had the drag tight, that was loose. I didn't have to push, I didn't have to pry, I didn't have to fight. Went right in. Now we're back to the C-clamp. The best way to put it on is exactly how you took it off. You're going to take a flathead screwdriver, you're going to push against the back of it. Alright, normally I would cover it for this, but I want to show you guys how to do it. And you just push till it clicks. Push till it clicks. Just like that. Now normally, like I said, I throw a rag or something over it so it doesn't go flying. Everywhere where there's threads, it's really important to clean those areas. And there's threads on this little cap here. Because just like gears, you don't want sand in your threads. It'll smooth them out. Okay. Before I put that on, I'm actually going to lube it. Just going to take a little bit of the lube. This is Super Lube synthetic grease, by the way, and it seems to do a really good job. It is not water soluble, so it won't wash away with water, which is good in a fishing reel since you're going to get it wet. We're going to work that mechanism a little bit there and clean up the excess. And just a little drop will do you, really. And you can see a little shine to it there where I put that on there. But that's working great. So that goes on next. Now it is shaped like a D, like the letter D. You'll see it's flat there on the bottom part. And that is going to line up with where that's flat. You can't do it wrong. If it's difficult, you're not doing it right. Alright, go on. Ow, that's what's going on. I don't have it in far enough. Let's fix that. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Interesting. I need to investigate. Hang on. That's a rather interesting development. Let me see if I can get up here where I can show you what's going on. This goes inside of this as a sleeve, and when you push the button on the bottom of the reel to cast it, that's supposed to go up. And it's not. And when I push on the bottom of it, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of old nasty grease or something that comes out. Now I've got another one of these reels. That works fine, that I took a look at. But I honestly don't know how to fix that. And I don't want to force it. Yep. Because I don't want to break it. So that's a rather interesting crossroads to be at. Well, I have the other reel sitting here. I will grab it and show you what it's supposed to do. See it, watch it go inside. No, it's not working worth a crap here either. It moved a little bit. Alright, you see it? And the one that I'm working on just ain't moving that way. It's not moving at all. I'll be back. Okay, redneck ingenuity triumphs once again. I got it loose. I didn't want to grab a hold of this with any metal tools because I didn't want to scratch it, so I grabbed one of these and I put it on just like this, and I applied steady, you can't see that, I'll do it back here. I applied pressure to it and forced down the gear like that. And now it's open inside, which means I can lube the shit out of it. Lubrication is good. Lubrication is fun. I've got plenty of lube for everyone. Anyway, so what I'm hoping is that when I release this, I should be able to do it by hand. Problem solved. Ooh, okay. I see the problem. There's a lot of rust in there. Let's see if I can't get to that and get that cleaned out. When there's a will, there's a way, let me tell you. I have rambled on for 25 minutes. I am so sorry. Still got rust in it. Alright. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to lube it inside. Smear that all around, all up in there. Work it in everywhere. That should prevent that kind of thing from happening. Okay, back to reassembly. I think I'm going to start cutting my videos into sections. You guys let me know how you feel about that. Down in the comment section there. Because I tend to ramble, and I don't know about you guys, but I've got to... See how easy that was after yeah. Cool. Problem solved. No one's ever accused me of being real smart. I'll be honest with you. It's just never come up that I'm a smart guy. But sometimes I impress myself. Now you don't want to torque it down just where it stops. And then when I reel, that should click and fall down. Let's see how we did. Boop, just like that. Okay, we're not going to do too much of that since I ain't lubed the gears yet, which we're going to do right now. Freaking cat hairs everywhere, let me tell you. Even out here where the cats have never technically been, cat hair everywhere. That looks beautiful. That is a well lubricated reel, my friend. Tighten the drag back up. Alright, so the easiest thing to do when you're putting together this kind of reel is, of course, get the reel shank in there, but not all the way, because you want to be able to turn it backwards a little bit to line up where the drag goes, just like that. And then you're going to rotate it forward, and it should just click right in, just like that. Beautiful. Like I've done that a time or 1,000. Alright, it's ready to go. I'm going to pop that cap right back off, and we're going to put line on it. Today's line is mystery line. And I say mystery line is because I don't know how old it is. Don't know what brand it is. And I don't know what pound test it is. But by feeling it, I think it's about an 8, maybe a 10, somewhere in that. It's not heavy stuff. But I've got it, and I want to use it. Waste not, want not, and all that happy stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if this will fit into the magic line holding box, and it does. I am hearing a rooster. Okay. I'm not crazy. Well, you know, I might be. Do you guys hear the rooster too? Or is it just me? Okay. Putting line on a spin cast reel like this is quite simple. You know, that line might be thicker than I think it is. Okay. I'm going to say that's 10. It's pretty simple. You put the line through the cap first. That is important right there. That's pretty important stuff. You're going to make a loop knot. Just like that. I had clippers right here. I swear to you I did. Found my clippers. Clipped off the little tag in there. So what you want to do is you want to loop that around your reel, and you want to loop it in a direction that it catches when you reel, which I've done. But how you tell is you move in the same direction that your line does when you reel in, and your line should get shorter. It did not, so I screwed that up. So I need to dig that back out and do it again. Which is pretty easy. You can only put it on 2 different ways, and I already did it one way and it didn't work, so. So you just take it off, you flip it over, you put it back on. And then again, we're going to do that test. We're going to go the same direction that the reel goes. Okay, I put it on wrong 2 times in a row. How is that possible? Well, anything's possible when you're a professional idiot like me. I'm going to blame the lube on my fingers. And you should be able just to wiggle it, and the line should come right back out, and it's not working. We're going to cheat. Just grab your loop. Grab the loop. Okay. Alright. So what I need... Are you kidding me, Batman? I see what's going on. I see, says the blind man to his deaf son. Kind of funny. I gotta redo my loop knot. What's going on down there is that where it's closing around the center of the spool is right about there, and that knot that I have on there is blocking it. So we're gonna do it again. Okay, I have retied the loop knot smaller this time so that we shouldn't have that same problem. We're going to push the line back through the knot like so to give us a circle. Something like that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put it over the reel in a way that should catch. Fingers crossed. There we go. Perfect. I'll show you. As I'm going the same direction the reel goes when I reel, it's getting shorter. That means we did it right. That line's actually a bit heavy for this reel, but with the multitude of reels that I have, it's probably very rarely going to see action anyway, so I think it's going to be alright. And then we reel. We'll fast forward through this. And that one's all done. Well, that's it for today on this particular reel. The other one of these reels that I have that's identical, I'm going to do as a two-parter to see if you guys like that better. The first part will be disassembly and clean. The second part will be putting new line on it. We're going to break it down into two. Thanks for watching.